Hi Floss Tube, I'm Sally, StitchySally here on Floss Tube and also over on Instagram. Today it is the 2nd of March 2022 and this is Floss Tube number 19. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I hope you enjoy what I have to show you. Sorry, I just thought for a minute then I hadn't pressed record. Anything could happen. Anyway, welcome. I have actually made it to 600 subscribers and up to now I've stayed at 600 subscribers. I was going to do a giveaway today but I have forgotten to have a look and see what I've got, so I'll try and remember for next time. Welcome whether you are a new viewer or a regular viewer. It's lovely to have you here spending a bit of time with me as I show you what I've been up to over the last fortnight. So I think we will get started. So first of all, I'm going to show you my book of days. And I'm actually quite terrible because I end up forgetting to write in it, and then I have to go back and do it. So that was my February page. 2 pages. So as you can see, I stitched every day, which is usual for me most of the time. And I'm writing in here just things to remind myself of and any new starts that I might have in the month. So then of course we're into March. Not a lot in there as yet. So I have had one new start. I thought there was a lot of writing there just for one new start, but yeah. Losing the plot. And I wanted to use this sticker. Dove. Sign of peace, hopefully. What is going on in Ukraine right now. It's absolutely heartbreaking to see what's happening over there. And that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to get into too much because I could start ranting. So yeah, I've covered that quote up there at the top. I do tend to find actually that if you tend to stitch every day and you need each block, that the antiquarian sticker book, some of the stickers in those are just too big to use, so whether I'll actually use many of those. And I've got some of my smaller stickers there that I got from Wdw Rose, I think it is, as well there. So let's see how well we do. This month was trying to keep up and remember what I've stitched on certain days, because sometimes if I sit and watch Floss Tube in an afternoon I'll pick some stitching up and it might not be something that I would normally stitch on in an evening. So then I tend to forget what I've done. Right, so moving on, FFO. Now you may remember last time I mentioned that I couldn't show my latest FFO because it was a birthday gift and it hadn't arrived. Well, later that day, not long after I'd finished filming actually, I did hear from Barb that she'd actually got it, so I'll just show you on my iPad. And this is In My Garden from the Sewing Club book by Blackbird Designs, and I just stitched this on, whoops, wrong way, on a piece of 28 count even weave using DMC, and I don't know what it is that I've used. So that's what I stitched. That's there. Oh, words are going to be hard today, aren't they? That is what I stitched for Barb for her birthday, and she loved it. So I also have 2 finishes that I have done nothing with. And the first one is this one, May Peace Abide, which is by Heartstring Samplery. And this, I stitched this for Winter Cross Stitch Camp using Gassed Onyx. And this is on a piece of 36 count, I think it's light mocha. I've said before I think it's light mocha. And that's my finish. And Beth of Heartstring Sampler, she has just put another one out. I can't remember exactly what it says on it though, but I've got that downloaded to stitch at some point. So that's my finish. Really, really pleased with that. And then I went on to stitch the Winter Cross Stitch Camp badge. Unfortunately, you can't see the wording too well. It blends in a little bit too much with my fabric, but I'm not really too bothered about that. And this is a piece of fabric flare. It's 36 count, but I have no idea. I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called. I think it's Snowfall or something like that, maybe. But yeah, you can't really see. I should really have picked a different colour for the wording, but that's fine. So I actually got my piece finished in time. And I'm really pleased with how that's stitched up as well. It's a really nice piece. So I've got so many pieces. I've got quite a few pieces kitted up, and I keep thinking, if you're not going to start them, unkit them and put them away. I'm just going to leave that there because I do have something else to show out of that one. So my next piece is Sue Hillis Designs A Study in Blue, and I'm stitching exactly as is from the chart, using gas dungarees and 32 count vintage country mocha. And I finished the box top. Can't cope with all this fabric. Finish the box top, and I just think that is so lovely. It's such a beautiful design. Really, really pleased with how it's stitched up. And then I started the pincushion. Pincushion? I think it's a pincushion. But I had a visit from the frog because apparently I can't read a pattern again. So I unpicked it and managed to get what I had to unpick restitched and a bit more done besides. Had to unpick quite a lot of this one here because I'd gone wrong on this one here, so it just meant that that was out as well. And I couldn't leave it, obviously, because it all lines up. So, as I say, I'm really, really pleased with that. Really like how it's stitching up. And that is A Study in Blue. And that's the dungarees. I don't know whether you can... It's not showing up too badly. It's very, very dull here today. It was a lovely day yesterday, a real spring day. I actually went out without a hat. Haven't been out walking without a hat for ages. And then today I did put a hat on, and I just put one of my thinner hats on that I tend to wear in, you know, when it's not quite cold enough for a thick hat. No, God, did I wish. I wished I put a scarf, gloves, thicker hat, the lot. Very, very chilly. So next is Laurie Holt of Be My Bonnet, Pleasant and Gentle, which Lisa of Lisa S Stitches gifted me for Christmas. And I'm stitching this with DMC on a piece of 32 count Stormy Skies Even Weave by Zweigart. And as you can see, the sheep is finished. The lady is almost finished. I don't know if you can see, I just have to fill these dots in with 3865. And I've made a start on the border, which I did think might take a bit of stitching, but it wasn't too bad once I sort of got into the swing of things. It was okay. And I think that is lovely. And that is one big sheep. And I've got the middle. I've just got the middle of this motif here to fill in. I assume it's just sun, I think. I've just got that little bit to finish in there as well as all the border. Sure, I get my dangling bits of fabric out the way and not get them stuck in the zip, because I do have a tendency to do that. And then next up is Plum Street Samplers Always Remember, and I still haven't decided what I'm going to do, where the eagles are. I have seen somebody stitching it on Instagram. I think they're just filling in with poppies, so I might do that. I don't know, still haven't ever minded. Stitch's prerogative, isn't it, I guess. And that is where I'm at. Getting some more poppies in and some leaves. So for anybody that's new, that's 35 count pale grey linen, and I'm using mostly DMC, but I do have, I think it's maybe 2 or 3 of the, I think, crescent colours, I think, are the ones that it is done in DMC, Weeks Dye Works Gast and crescent colours. I really should have put the light on, but I just didn't want to blow anything out. It's very difficult to decide whether you need a light on or you don't need a light on. And then, oops, I really need to have a sort out. I've got stuff in here that I don't need. I need to get it put away. Next up, sorry, rustling in the bag, is from Blackbird Designs My Heart Is True. It's actually a collaboration actually with Blackbird Designs and Nicoletta Ferruta, and I've probably made a right hash of trying to pronounce that. And it's this one that I'm stitching, which is Blackbird Designs, and it's a flock of birds. I don't have the correct colour gingham linen, so I've just used one that I have. If I hadn't have got it, I'd have just used a normal fabric rather than buying some. And I'm stitching this with DMC. It's only 4 colours, which is quite nice. And I'm not really getting very far, but that's as far as I've got. So I stitched on it last Saturday, stitched on it with Lainey. We're both doing Blackbird Designs on a Saturday. And the Saturday before, I didn't do very well with it at all because we decided we would watch Encanto. And I spent more time watching the film than I did stitching. Such a good film. If you haven't seen it, I'd highly recommend it. Really, really good. And apparently, one of the songs from it is a right earworm. And I said, I don't know why they call it an earworm because I can't even remember how it went. Yeah, I can now. But I think that is down to Jess and Abby playing it. It's got in my head. And then next up is, sorry, excuse me, my hashtag StitchySally's winter birthday sale, which was my birthday start back in December. And it's With Thy Needle and Thread, Winter Rose Manor, Brenda Gervais. And I know last time I did say that I'd only swapped out a couple, but I've also swapped out, I can't actually remember, I'm not going to open the packet, but I'm doing all the white in B5200 because I wanted a whiter snow rather than the one that Brenda designed it with, charted it with. Yep, and I've had quite a few people asking me about the pink, and it's Wdw Rose Quartz. So there we go. It really doesn't show up to its true colour on here. It's just not. It's not that colour at all. It's showing more sort of lilac-y on there, but it really isn't. So as you can see, I'm still plodding away on the mansion house. Got quite a few window frames put in. So you never know, by the time I come back again I might have the manor house nearly finished, because the roof's massive as well, because obviously the house is massive. So that might take me a few more weeks yet. If I set my mind to it, maybe I could get more stitching done in an evening as well. Got a bit obsessed with solitaire on my iPad. That's not good. And then the can't get it out. Final whip is from this book, Blackbird Designs Home for the Holidays. This is my Tuesday night BBD sal with Barb and Mouse. And obviously, if you've been here before, you'll have seen what I'm doing. It's Christmas Garden. Both Barb and I are stitching Christmas Garden. And I believe Mouse has gone back to A Joyous Day. And I'm stitching this in DMC on a piece of 36 count foxglove and lace linen in latte. And it is coming along really nicely. I'm so pleased with how this is coming out. And I think I did say it before, I thought I might be fed up of it by now, because sometimes I do tend to do that with bigger pieces. I just get fed up. So I think since last time I have just done this here and added a bit more border at this side, I think. So really enjoying that. And obviously I have got quite a lot to fill in on the border yet as well. Got all the buds to fill in. But I wanted to sort of do a bit of border as I went along, rather than doing it all first or doing the middle bit first or whatever. I'm just try and keep up with that, because it is obviously, with it being a big design, it's also a big border. So I do have a little bit of haul. I decided to show a little bit of support to a Ukrainian designer. So I picked up this. You have to execute my printout's not very good. My printer just it really doesn't like printing, to be honest. And this is from Stitchy Princess, and it's Winter Forest. I'll link to her Etsy down below, but you can see there. StitchPrincess.etsy.com should get you there. And I also picked up this one. Oops, sorry. And that is Night Alphabet Sampler. And Katerina actually includes in this the English alphabet and the Ukrainian alphabet. And there is a lady on Instagram, and I'm really sorry I can't remember her name, who is hosting a Sal, and it's Stitch Princess Sal, and also hashtag Stitch for Ukraine. So I've started this. I can't see them very well there. Those are the DMCs. Just 4. And I went in my stash. Don't have any black. But I did find a piece of 32 count blue spruce, I think it is. Yeah, sure, it's blue spruce. I've had it in my stash for years. So that's just my tiny little start that I had yesterday. Yep, that is the right way up. I was looking at it then thinking, have I got it the right way up? But I have. So that is basically this sun here that I've started. I just took a real fancy to this, and when I first looked at it, it was just the English alphabet, and then Katerina decided she'd had some requests if asking her if she could include the Ukrainian alphabet as well, and I just thought it'd be nice to do that. Sorry, I think my my webcam's having a bit of bother focusing. The light not being very good. So that is all my whips, my finishes, yep, my FFO that I did for Barb, and my haul, new start. There's my notes gone. Just need to check. Oh, I do have another piece of haul, actually. There we go. Did I say Floss Tube 18 or 19? Yeah, it's 19. Get a feeling I said 18, but if I didn't... Yep, so I decided that I want to finish a piece of bead in a hoop, and I didn't have any small hoops, and Abby had bought herself a pack of these from work, and she works at the Works, which I think I've told you before. So I got to get me a couple of packs, and then I thought I've got some for finishing smaller bits as well, so they're just £3 each, which is quite a bargain really. And I have said to her, because I know obviously I was watching Kerry and Stitches last night, and I think Mad Mary too, she'd put it up on her Instagram that the Works have got, and I'm sure you'll have heard it before, but I'm sure there's plenty of UK floss tubers who have already said, they've got the Emma Congdon books in. Cross stitch for the soul and cross stitch for the earth, and I keep saying to her, I don't know whether to get them or not, I don't know whether I'd stitch anything out of them or not. And she keeps saying to me, come and have a look at them and see whether you want to or not. They did, because they didn't have them originally, but they have got them in. But Kerry actually just did a quick look of the first pages last night, and I'm like, oh, I quite like the look of that one. Oh, I quite like the look of that one. Shall I, shan't I? So watch this space. I might not. So I think that is just about everything. Plans. I try not to make plans because they just go out of the window, so it will just be a case of over the next couple of weeks carrying on with what I've got going. I'd like to try and get some of my bigger pieces done, but that's not going to happen for a while, just so that I can get some smaller pieces in. I feel like I haven't really stitched on much that's small up to now this year, but I tend to do this a lot. I tend to get too many large pieces, get snowed under and get fed up. But yeah, so that's everything there. Life, not really doing a lot. Really do need to just get back out there, but it's a bit difficult after 2 years of not doing a deal, and obviously COVID is still out there. All restrictions in England, at least, I'm not quite sure about the other home nations, have been lifted. You don't have to self-isolate if you get COVID, which I think could be a big mistake. I know it's very, very hard if obviously you only get sick pay when you isolate, and they are recommending that you do still isolate, but obviously whether people will or not, we don't know. But Abby and I did have a little trip out to one of the nearest shopping parks. It was only basically just a quick in and out of a shop to pick something up that she'd done on a click and collect, but it was quite nice. That's the furthest we've been, me and her, for nearly 2 years. I've got my mammogram tomorrow. Yay, my boob squish. Not pleasant, but have to have it done. So I was supposed to go on Christmas Eve, but they cancelled it. It's in a mobile unit on the leisure centre car park, and I think they had problems with toilet facilities because the leisure centre was closed on Christmas Eve, so they had to cancel appointments for Christmas Eve, and I got a new appointment for tomorrow, so I'm going to get that done. I'm going to do a COVID test before I go, do a lateral flow test just to be on the safe side. Abby has been struggling with, well, I think she stumped the doctor because first off they thought it was psoriasis, and now she's not so sure. She thinks it could be dermatitis, so she's taken some pictures to send off to dermatology to see, just to make sure that she's doing the right thing, giving her the right creams and things to help her. But unfortunately she'd had a week off work, holiday, and then she was due back last Thursday and she had a massive panic attack and couldn't go to work. And then she took Friday off as well because she was in no fit state to go Friday. But she went back on Sunday. She does seem a little bit better, but it was horrible seeing her like that, and she's never had one like that before. But work has been getting her down, and obviously having this, whatever it is getting her down as well, because it was waking her up. It was so itchy, it was waking her up, and I think everything just got on top of her, so hopefully she'll be on the up now. She certainly seems, as I say, she seems brighter than she was. and the second lot of cream, which she's been using a week, that certainly seems to be helping. It has nearly all gone on her neck. Forearms are being a little bit more stubborn, and her hands, but it just seems odd. The doctor sort of thought of contact dermatitis, something that she was using, but she hasn't used anything different, so who knows. She's had similar before, but certainly nothing like it has been this time. But hopefully this cream is helping. So yeah, so I think that is everything from me. I'm trying to catch up on some Floss Tube. I just haven't been in the mood for watching much, but I have managed to get caught up with a few. Still got a few to catch up with, so I might finish on here, set this up uploading, and maybe go and maybe just watch one if I can get one watched. So thank you very much everybody for watching. Thank you if you comment, and thank you for the thumbs up as well. I do love reading your comments, really enjoy reading them, and I always do try to reply. If I happen to miss a comment or something, most of the time I do see them all. Just give me a nudge, say, oi, what are you doing? Why are you ignoring me? Well, I'm not ignoring you if I don't see it, am I? Right, I'm waffling. Freddie's cleaning, he's groaning because he's cleaning. So I will see you hopefully in a couple of weeks. Take care, thank you for watching. Bye everybody.